Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Hannah here. Today I decided to make a video about tips for first-time homebuyers. Thank you for watching. My first tip, which I think is very important, is determining how much you can afford. By this, I mean making sure that you're calculating that if you buy a $200,000 house, you know how much your mortgage will be, including taxes, because sometimes people will look at it and it'll be $1,200, and then once they include insurance and taxes, it can go up to $1,500. So just make sure you're calculating that. Maybe talk to a loan officer to find out, okay, your monthly payment might be $1,700. Okay, you can't really afford that, so you need to look for something cheaper or save for a little longer if you can. This is really important because I think a lot of people think they can afford more than they can before they really start looking into all the fees that are associated with it, which even I was shocked when I first got into this business because you think it's cheaper than it actually is. My second tip for you guys is going to be, if it's possible, I would definitely recommend saving to have 20% down. This is really important because you can avoid PMI insurance, and this is just the lender's insurance if you default on paying your mortgage. The PMI is typically 10 to 20% of the home purchase price, which can add up very quickly. So if you're able to put down the 20%, you will definitely save by not having to pay the PMI, and your monthly cost will also be lower. Take in mind that I know some people just can't do that, especially if you live in an area where homes are way more expensive, so the 20% is a lot more money than in Arizona. Then you're willing to spend the extra money per month for the PMI. That's completely fine, and I think some people, it might be better to actually do that just because the 20% is way too much. My third really important tip is getting pre-approved for a loan. This is extremely important because you're gonna find your perfect house randomly, and then because you're not pre-approved, you could possibly lose it because houses are going very quickly, especially if they're really nice. They're going to be gone extremely fast, and if you're not pre-approved and we're not able to speed up the process, it is really going to make you miss out on a lot of opportunities that you could have had if you would have just got pre-approved. Getting pre-approved can be really easy. You just need to talk to a loan officer. You can also look up online where you can go get pre-approved from and where are the best places to go. Also, getting pre-approved, you can do it earlier than you think you're going to be looking for a home because they typically last 90 days, so 3 months. So you can do it before you're even thinking of looking at a home, and then suddenly your dream house will come up and you're already pre-approved. You don't have to wait for anything, and you can just get it under contract and you're not going to lose your dream house. I've actually seen this happen to many people, and it's really unfortunate because they do end up losing the house that they wanted because of this reason, and it's just so easy that it should have been done, but not many people know about it, or they think that they're just going to go looking one day, they probably won't find anything, and then they end up finding something they really loved and they lose it because of that. Number 4 is specifically if you're buying in an area you're not familiar with, maybe you're buying out of state, I would definitely hire a really good real estate agent to be your buyer's agent because they know what they're doing and they know what area they're working in. You can also go online and just do research where you can find out things that you like about the area. If you're close to certain things, you can do that on your own side, and then you can slowly minimize from there. If you're moving for job relocation, you're going to want to be closer to your job, especially depending on the city. So for example, in California, there's a lot of traffic. So even if you only live a couple of miles away, it can take you a really long time just to get to your job because of the traffic there. Whereas in Arizona, we don't have much traffic here. So you can live further away from your house and just take the freeway. So you have that to kind of take into mind and to think about when you're relocating somewhere new. My 5th tip is going to be making the most of open houses. There are so many open houses going on, especially on Sundays. I see so many. I'll be hosting one, and then right as I'm leaving I'll see 5 or 6 open houses where you have the opportunity to be able to go into that house. You're not with your agent maybe. You don't have to be, and you can just walk around freely. And then if you do decide that you like it later, your agent can take you privately to see that home again so that you're alone and they can answer more private questions for you. My last tip is to try to have what you want in mind, which is really hard because sometimes you'll start with your criteria and then you'll change it completely once you start seeing homes. But have a pretty simple idea of what you're gonna want eventually, and then your realtor can break it down for you. And sometimes your dream house is just not gonna be there. It might take a couple months for it to appear on the market, or you're just gonna have to, I don't wanna say settle, but you definitely do have to look at what you like about certain homes homes and if they can be improved, if you can get it for a cheaper price and then just install whatever you wanted yourself. For example, in the town I live in, gas stoves are extremely hard to find for some reason in a specific area. So when people come to me and they say, well, I want to be in this specific area and I want a gas stove, I will be looking forever and I'll finally find one, and maybe they don't like the house. It has a gas stove, but they just don't like the inside of the house. So then I actually had one couple ask me if we could contact the city and see if they would even allow houses that didn't have the gas line to get it hooked up and to see how much it was. And some people will just end up buying and then installing it because for them, the gas stove is really important. I know looking for a house can be super stressful, but really enjoy the process. And it's really fun to see a ton of different homes because you really get an idea of what you want. So I hope you guys liked this video. Like and subscribe below. Thank you.